So, welcome back to Nutrabaits TV. You joined me for an in-piece session. I'm going to do in a quick overnight between work. It is a very windy day today, so I'm on a club water, quite local to me. Going to get the rods out and then I'll go through obviously venue choice, tactics, how I approach overnights and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to get the rods out now and I'll speak to you in a bit. So I've just got my third rod out. All three spots are ones that I've been pre-baiting as well for the last couple of weeks. And no joke, it's probably been out about 2 minutes and the right hand has bust off. I think it's only a little one, but start the session well. Hopefully start things to come. Get into some of them bigger ones as well. It's just weeded itself up. Oh, there we go, it's coming. No, solid in weed. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I'm fishing 2 rods on one spot. One on a 12mm pink plum and one on a 12mm yellow pineapple. And I'm fishing one just off to the side of that. And it's the right hander that's gone on the pink. It's only a little baby common. Yes. There we go. One in the net. Happy days. So I've been here probably an hour now. Just had a second one. Only a little baby. The lake's full of these from where they've had like successful spawns in the last couple of years. But they're growing nicely. It's probably only a year and a bit old, this. But yeah, you've got to fish your way through these to get to the good ones. So hopefully 1 or 2 of them might show up shortly. But happy catching these for now. Spinning round, show you the other side real quick. Little dumpy thing. Lake's full of naturals as well, so obviously they're feeding well, piling the weight on. But yeah man, happy days. Sweet, slipper back. So I was just about to do a piece to the camera about the venue and stuff like that. Go into a bit of detail about my tactics. And the left hand rod's bust off. Got another one on. Oh, he's ready for netting. I'll just get him in the net. Only another little baby, but we'll get him bites. So, as we was rudely interrupted, just doing that piece about the venue, the left-hander bust off again, this fish number 3. As I was saying, obviously, it's had quite a lot of successful spawns over the last couple of years. This is probably one from, I don't know, maybe last year, springtime, so it's like a year and a half old. But yeah, the lake's full of these. So it does put quite a lot of people off fishing it as well, which is another reason why I've chose this venue, because a lot of people have started like easing off, so it's quite quiet. It's like tonight I'll be the only one on. I've done 3 sessions previous to this, I've been the only one on every time. So yeah, slip this back, get the rod back out, whack up another mix, show you obviously what goes into the mix, and then hopefully try and get a better one. But yeah, slip it back. So I'm just going to give you a quick lowdown on the venue choice and obviously why I pick certain venues. So most of my fishing, probably 95% of my fishing, is work overnighters. I don't do a lot of fishing in summer because of other commitments. So most of my fishing is from like end of September to maybe start of April time. So as I said, work overnighters based around getting at the lake pretty much just on dark or just before dark if I can. And I'm usually packing up around like first light, just before first light. So for me, venue choice, I've got to fish somewhere where I feel like I am going to get a bite in that short time. There's no point sitting behind motionless rods doing probably 50, 60 nights for one fish. For me personally, I'd rather pick a venue where I might get 2 or 3 fish a night if I can, with the odd better one along the way. So for this particular session, I'm on a Hull District water, it's a club water. One of the best things about this is you can park on every peg as well. So when I'm turning up after work on a night, I can literally get straight down to the lake. I don't have to get the barrow out, I don't have to barrow it to my peg, stuff like that. I can leave everything in the van, get my rods out, get my brolly out, get my bed out, pretty much fish in. And then again, when I pack down in the morning, pretty much pack away straight away, 10 minutes and straight off to work. The lake itself, I'd say it's maybe 2.5, 3 acres. For people that don't know the lake, in 2013-14 I think, the River Humber flooded into the lake, filled it with salt water, and every single fish in the lake died. So after like 3 or 4 years of talking to the Environment Agency and stuff like that, getting the water levels back down to how they should be, they introduced 75 carp into the lake. That was in 2017 I think. There was all roughly about a pound when they went in. And then since then, they've absolutely piled the weight on. The naturals have thrived in here. There's loads of freshwater shrimp, there's weed to the surface, and some of them carp have already hit 30 pound in less than 7-8 years, which is good for the lake. But the only downside is, because there's no predators in here, every time the carp have spawned, they've been successful, and now you've got thousands and thousands of fingerlings, 2-pounders, 3-pounders, and then obviously 5 and 6-pounders from previous year spawning. So it's a case of either fishing through them, which is what I'm trying to do at the minute. I've had 2 of them already, or going big baits and trying to avoid them. That's not really my tactic, that. So at the minute I'm fishing how I usually do, my usual mix, my usual hook baits. I'm getting 5 or 6 of them a night, and I've already done 2 sessions previously to this, and I've had 2 20s on either of them. So it is working. But yeah, I'm going to go into a bit of detail about the mix and my bait and stuff next, and then we'll take it from there. We'll see how we get on. So I've just slipped that 3rd fish back, was about to talk about my bait and stuff, and I've actually had another 2 since then. So a little quick feeding spell, 3 quick fish. So I'm up to about, I think I've had 5 fish now in total. The rods are back out, got a little lulling activity, so I'm just going to run you through my bait, what's involved, and then how I apply it. So for the majority of my bait mixes, there's 3 main ingredients. So the first is the 4mm trigger pellet. That bulks out the majority of the bait. Then I add to that the trigger solubles, and then the last product is just the trigger liquid booster. So they're the main 3 ingredients. All I'll do, I'll add maybe 2 or 3 key of pellet to a bucket, top it up with the solubles, then give it a good dose into the liquid booster. So here's what I've just got left over from the last mix that I've just made up when I put them 3 rods out. Heavily glugged, pretty simple, pretty basic, but the way I apply it is slightly different to what I assume most other people would do. So because I'm fishing overnighters and I've not got a lot of time, I don't want to be getting down to the lake, having to fill it in, create a load of disturbance and stuff. So what I tend to do is I fish usually Tuesday nights or Wednesday nights, and what I'll do is I'll come down on a Sunday afternoon after all the weekend anglers have left, and I'll fill it in on a Sunday. I'll probably put like 5-10 key out of solubles and pellet on maybe 1 or 2 spots, in the hope that I can get back on a Tuesday and there's no one down, so I can get straight back on them spots. The idea of that being is that when I get down after work, I don't have to locate the fish, try and find where they are. I'm already preempting that they're on my baited spot and feeding, or that they've fed in the last couple of days. So when I actually do get down, I'll just fish over maybe a scoop of bait and try and nick quick bites, rather than filling it in on my actual session and waiting for the fish to maybe feed through 5 key of bait. They're actually only fishing over maybe a scoop of bait on each rod. And then obviously when I leave the next morning before work, whatever I've got left, or if I've got another 5 key bag of solubles, I'll put them back on the spot. That'll do till probably the next Sunday, and I'll just repeat the process. So my spot's seeing bait maybe 3 days a week, whereas I'm only fishing 1. And that's how I find I get quicker bites than most, by keeping that bait going in on the same spots, but baiting heavy when I'm not actually fishing. And obviously it's worked today. We've turned up, I've had 5 bites in the first 2 or 3 hours. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, but if the action continues, I can't see it being long before we get a good one, so fingers crossed. So I think I've had 8 takes now. This is my 9th, and I'm definitely into a better one. As I said, people fish this one of two ways. They either fish through the little ones, or they go big hook baits, 22mm, 18mm, and try and avoid the little ones. My approach, obviously, I like little 12mm pop-ups, fishing bits, a bit of crumb pellet and that. And if we get this in, it's come good, because this feels a good fish. It's just gone under my left-hand line. Oh. Yeah, this is definitely a better fish. I think I've had 7 or 8 all around 5 or 6 pound. But yeah, just kept the bait going in. Just kept topping the spots up every hour. And yeah, hopefully we'll get this one in. Just gonna have to pass this under. That wasn't very smooth. But yeah, as I said earlier, there's probably, don't know, 70, 75 fish they put in originally, which are now all like 20s, mid-20s, couple of 30s. So it's definitely one of them ones. Praying we get it in. It's quite a lot of weed as well down your margins, so try and get it over that. Oh, I have got one in the sling as well, just a little one. I was going to do a few pictures of that. Oh, he's right down the margin. And he is weeded up solid. Oh no, this ain't good. So just had a mad 10-15 minutes, pretty much had a triple take. First one, got it in the net, put it in the sling. Probably one of the biggest ones that I've had from the little spawn-ons that I was talking about. I actually did weigh this one just out of curiosity, and it was £9, so obviously a lot bigger than all the rest that have been like 5 or 6 pounds. This one's going to be a big fish, I think. You can tell by its frame as well. And then literally as I put that in the sling, the other rod went off. instantly thought it was a bit of a better fish. I thought it was a bit bigger than it was, to be fair. I've not weighed it, it's probably about 13, 14 pound, but one of the nicer ones, biggest one I've had today as well. So happy with that. It did weed me up as well, so I had to go in the waders to get it out. And then literally as we was about to do the photos of these two, the last rod went off. A little tiny common, probably about 5 or 6 pounds, so I just slipped that one back. I'll just spin this one round. But yeah, I think that pre-baiting over the last 2 or 3 weeks, they're definitely homing in on that trigger. It's definitely a food source now, and I just feel like as soon as I'm getting the bait out, they're on it. And if I ain't had a bite within like an hour, I'm just topping the spots up, more and more bait, getting the solubles out. So there's loads of different times of like breakdowns for the solubles. And yeah, it's just working. So I think this is my 10th fish maybe now today. And got some rods to sort out, get some more bait out, and then we'll see how we carry on. But yeah, get these slipped back. So we're just coming into the evening period now. There's probably about an hour left of daylight. We've had pretty much a manic afternoon. It's been non-stop. I think I've had 11 bites now. I've used all the bait that I mixed up earlier, so just about to make another mix up. But before I do that, I just thought it'd be a good time to run through my hook baits and obviously the choices for that. 95% of my fishing, for anyone that knows me, I go straight in with 3 rods all on the same 12mm pineapple and butyric. It's what I've got 100% confidence in. I've smashed all the waters that I fished with it. However, saying that, on this particular water, when I did the first session about 2 weeks ago, I went in with 2 of them on one and one of the plum and butyric acid on the 3rd rod, and it was that one that did about 4 bites, and I could not get a bite on yellow, which is strange. So then the last session I did last week, I just went in straight in with 3 of them. I had another, I think I had 4 little ones and 2 good ones. So today again, put 3 of these straight on, and I think every rod's done a bite. All been on the pink, which is unusual for me, but it's working, so I'll stick at it. Yeah, as I say, I've got about an hour left of light now. I'm going to knock up another mix, top up all the spots, get some food because I'm starving, and then see how we get on during the night. So we're a couple of hours into dark now. The action did actually slow up a little bit. Didn't have a bite for maybe 2.5 hours. So top the spots up. Did actually lose a decent one on my middle rod as well. It literally just plodded around, kited right, went into the weed bed, got it just past my rod tip, so then hook pulled unfortunately. Then just had this on the left hand rod. So hopefully start of a little feeding spell. I think it's, don't know, it seems to, when it gets dark, the little ones seem to ease off a little bit, so I'm hoping the last 2 nights I've done on here, I've had 2 20s as it's got dark, so search for a repeat of that, that'll be nice. But yeah, I'll set this one back. So, as I predicted, the night was quite quiet. As soon as it got dark, it eased off a little bit. Them little ones seemed to back off. The last 2 nights I've done, as soon as it's got dark, it's not really had many bites. So I think I had a little one a couple of hours after dark, which I slipped back. Then I lost one around midnight, I think. But I kept the rods going back out because I thought I've still got a chance for a good one. I had another little one, maybe 3-ish, and then just before first light, got it in the sling. I've got a mid-double, bit of a better one, and then this rod has literally just gone off as I was about to start backing away. But I've got about 45 minutes, and I've got a little bit of bait left, so I'm just going to wrap this one back up to the spot, put the rest of the bait out that I've got. Then I've got probably half an hour before I need to be away for work. So brolly in the van, bed in the van, whip the rest of the rods in and off to work. But yeah, I hope you've got something from this video, some tips and tricks from the way I approach my work overnighters. And yeah, I've had quite a lot of fish, but I've put the effort in for it. So every time I've had a fish, I've managed to get the rods back out. Like sometimes if it gets to like 1, 2 o'clock and I want some sleep, I will reel in. But last night I just kept going, kept getting the rods back out. And eventually it did pay off with that better one. Probably mid-double, I ain't weighed it yet, it's in the sling. But yeah, it's just about getting the most out of your session when you've got short time, just making sure you get them rods back out, especially when you're getting bites as well. And eventually you will get a good one. But yeah, gonna get this rod out real quick, see if I can nick one more last bite. So final fish of the session, ended on a bit of a better one. This went off literally 10 minutes before first light. So yeah, it's been a hectic night, and now I've got to go to work. Need to pack everything away. Probably got about half an hour, 20 minutes now. The rods are still out, so you never know, I might nick one more, but yeah, happy to end on this one. So the rod that I literally just put back out about 10 minutes ago, whilst I've got a spare half an hour packing away, is ripped off. I just put that mid-double back saying it was my last fish, and then this is gone. So most of the stuff's packed away. I was just about to put the bed in the van. Literally I've got less of my rods, so I'll get this in, slip it back, and then off to work. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope some of you have picked some tips and tricks up from what I've said this session, like going into like work overnighters or short sessions. I hope some of you can use some of the stuff that I said in your own angling. But yeah, little mirror there to end. I'll just grab the net. Oh, good. There we go. Nice way to end. Get this fish sorted out and I'll shoot off to work. Right, that's a wrap. Everything's stinking in the van. Plenty of fish caught. Now I've got to go to work.